Well, good afternoon again, and welcome back, Realty Pros, for another day of Porterhouse Realty Talks. So today we're going to dive deep into for sale by owners, how to find and market to for sale by owners, okay? Before we do, I want to see if anybody can give us a recap and a takeaway from the training the series that we've done for the last few weeks. And I will just give a quick plug for an announcement that we made about a month and a half or so ago with regards to My House Porter. So you guys have a tremendous tool that's at your disposal, and we are going to start doing the rollout. And just like we did with Brokerment, it's going to take several weeks of us going through that training for you guys to realize just the tremendous opportunity that's going to be afforded to you guys through what we've put together for you. Okay, so we're going to take it step by step. Before we start with for sale by owners, does anybody want to kind of sum up what we've done for the last few weeks with short sales? And as always, unmute yourselves, put something in the chat, be courageous. Either that, or I can call on some of our Realty Pros. All right, let's see. Herman. So the last few weeks, to sum it all up regarding what you've learned about short sales, how to market to them, how to help them. If you had to sum it all up, what would you say?
I guess I would say, Ms. Porter, that the opportunity is amazing for what's getting ready to come. You know, I think it's so important that we be proactive and that we see what's coming down the pipe before it really hits so we can be prepared. So what really I took away from all the training is that, and I really wasn't real versed on short sales or anything. So the training really helped me a lot. But just to know that this is another tool in our belt, and this is something that's going to be maybe one of the major things that's going to be happening in the industry. And for us to already be on the fast track of already knowing and already being prepared really did me well. I really enjoyed a lot of the information that Curtis gave. I enjoyed the information that, of course, that you gave and that our facilitator gave. But I think that the main thing that I wanted to say was that with the short sales, a lot of times people think they have no option. They think that it's either I'm going to lose my house, I'm going to have to go through foreclosure, and to give people that option that you don't have to lose your home to foreclosure. There's another way that we can do it where you can walk out of this situation without having to lose everything. And I think that to be able to educate people about that and to let them know that they do have some choices, I think that's wonderful. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting some more information. I'm still trying to learn it and navigate through it because it was a lot. But I might even have a couple of people who are going to be doing short sales. So I've been talking to people about it. So I'm just excited.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. That is very exciting, guys. And those videos are available. So from each of our Realty Talks trainings, the videos are available to you guys on Porterhouse International Realty Group's YouTube channel. So go and take a look at them a couple times and just get to work. You heard Curtis, he's been sending those mailers out, and he went out one day and he got a lead. The seller actually called him back for a listing over $700,000. So it definitely works. Anybody else have anything that they'd like to add or ask?
Oh, so I mentioned the mailing and how it was so expensive for the watch portion. Mm-hmm. So as I was in my quote unquote office slash homeschool slash wife's office, yeah, I found this big pack of envelopes that were like bubble wrap that I actually ordered for the campaign. Those were the envelopes that I should have used. So just stick to whatever's in the information. I guess I was just so wrapped up in like, just get these things out that I didn't really look. And sure enough, I like have a whole pack specifically for that last piece, that third letter, which I'm sure will drop the price drastically when you mail. So I just wanted to put that out there. I was like, oh man, here are the envelopes that I should have used. But it was already too late. Also, if you are going to door knock, I do highly recommend, if you have a lot of listings or potential short sales, to break them up. I would recommend 5 to 7 in one day, kind of like, one pop. I was very eager, and I just, to knock or to knock them all out. And 16 houses in one day was just, and it was all within my area, but it was a lot. It was a lot of driving, getting out, driving, getting out, which was fine for 5 to 7. I think when you get over that, it could kind of, it could wear on you. So next time I will definitely coordinate that with that third letter and then split them. So if I have, say, 15, I'll do 5 on Friday, I'll do 5 on Saturday, I'll do 5 on Sunday, and I knock them out. So it makes it a little more ease on you than, ripping and running all over the place. So yeah.
If I can ask Curtis, and you probably have already gone through this, but if you had to say, how much time would you say total in a week that you give to the prep, to actually going out, the follow up? How much time out of your week is that taking? And if you don't mind sharing, what was the cost factor when you added it all up, cost wise? What was the cost factor? And did you kind of break that down to the cost per lead? Did you take it all the way to that, or did you just do an overall cost?
Yeah, Kermon, they break it down per call, like per, mailing. I mean, for the most part, time wise, so there's components to it. So the first time you do it, it's kind of like you have to set everything up. So it's going to take a little bit more, quote unquote, time for you to type out the letters. So you have 3 letters. So, you have them typed out, you have them formatted kind of how you want them to look. That takes time. Getting your envelopes, getting your yarn, getting the watches, or, getting all the things, that's going to take a little bit more, just upfront time. But for me, now I have everything in place, right? So once I decided to do a campaign, I went in, looked at Remart, the foreclosure and Bright, picked them out. Once I had the addresses and I knew who I was going to target, the time was very, you could say a good hour. Okay. And but within that hour, I could have had all 3 letters, all my postcards, everything done for the entire campaign. Then it's just a matter of, okay, on this day, I'm going to mail postcard 1. I already have my, postcard stamps are less expensive than, look at $5 for all your postcard stamps. You need a book of stamps for, your regular letters. It's just a matter of then just dropping them in the mail kind of sequentially, leading up to that third one that you already kind of looked at your calendar and was like, okay, this Saturday is when I'm going to be door knocking. And you put that information to tie it together. But it really, if you're just say doing 5, you could, that would take probably 20 minutes, very, very easy to do. It's just getting yourself set up.
Okay. So when you drop your post a thing of postcards for the mail, when you do your mail and drop it, how many are you doing? How many are you putting in the mail at one time?
Literally, so like for that one campaign. So the first set of postcards, if I have 14 houses, there's 14 postcards.
Okay. Got it. All right.
The next is 14 letters. Right. The next is 14 posts. You know what I mean? Like, so it's consistent all the way through from the start to the end of that one particular campaign.
And when you follow that up with the door knocking, you tell people you're going to be in the area and you're going to be door knocking. And let's say you knock on the door and you get no response. Are you also leaving a door hanger on the door, or you just feel you left enough and you just go move on?
No, so I left a door hanger with my picture and the porterhouse door hanger you've seen in the office. Right. So I left that. What I also did in Realty Track, when you pull up the house, you kind of get a little information sheet about the property. Okay. So what I did the night before door knocking, I actually printed out each one of those for each property. And then I wrote a little note on there, like a handwritten, like, you know, foreclosure doesn't need to be an option. Please, you know, I'm here to help. Give me a call. And so I had the door hanger and I had that. So if they didn't answer the door, I left the door hanger and then I put that paper. I also stapled my business card to the paper. So those were my door knocking materials. So I had the door hanger, I had that flyer, I put that in the crack of the door if they didn't answer, and I was off to the next one. The interesting thing, the first home I knocked on, the lady eventually came out and she was like, you know, how do you know this information about me? And I was like, well, I'm a realtor. I was like, I'm the one sending the purple envelope. She was like, oh, she's like, wait, you're Curtis. I was like, you know what I mean?
Good.
So
Yeah,
for me,
yeah,
that was
that's
kind of
good.
cool because it was like, it worked. Well, you've been, you know, I've been standing out in her mail. Like, who's his
Right.
purple envelopes?
Right.
Um,
With the string and all that.
exactly. So
Right.
she knew who I was.
Okay.
You know, and then meeting me in person, we had a nice conversation. You know,
Right.
I don't know, you know, she was kind of like, I have things under control now and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, that's great. I was like, but if anything comes up, you have my information. I'd love to, you know, help you out, whatever you need. So that first house, I was really pumped up. I didn't get really another response for a while of actually somebody answering the door. I know people were home. I know people were watching me on their Ring. You know, I know, you know what I mean? Like, I know
Who's
some
this
people
guy?
were around, but which is fine. You know, it's all good. I knocked. You see me. I'm here. Let me leave some information, and now I'm, you know, off to the next property. Yeah,
Okay.
but it won't take much time. It's the upfront setup. So, you know, you get your letters in place, you get your materials together, and then like once you have all that stuff ready to go, you just knock it out. Like, you know, I did get a label printer, so I am going to print the labels for, you know, my Curtis Price at the, you know, Porterhouse Realty office. So as my return address for the envelope, so I don't have to handwrite that, but I will handwrite the address I'm mailing to.
Okay.
You know, but that will save me some time on the next batch. You know, I'll just print out all these labels for my name to go up, you know, in the return address. So that'll definitely cut down time too. So those things, like once you have all this stuff kind of set in place, and whenever I'm ready to do a campaign, I have letter 1, letter 2, letter 3 ready. I have my postcards ready. I have my envelopes. It's just a matter of now, okay, these 5 houses are who I'm going to target on this one. Let me put them in. Let me get everything squared away. You could even in one day write all your postcards, have everything ready. And then it's just a matter of sequentially, Monday, drop this one in the mail. On Wednesday, drop this pile in the mail. You know what I mean? On Tuesday, drop this one. On Saturday, I'm knocking.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you. All right.
Great feedback. Great question. Thank you guys for that. So I want to be sure that everybody knows that our goal with the marketing material that we're sharing is that you choose one. So you see that Curtis is focused on one thing, and it sounds like Herman is going to focus on that thing too. And I'm saying that very purposefully because as we begin or as we continue through the other marketing efforts or marketing campaigns that you guys have at your disposal, we want to make sure that you maintain a laser-like focus on the one thing that you will choose to commit to on a daily basis. So today we're about to go into for sale by owners. And if that is what you would like to choose, and if that's the demographic that you'd like to market to, then I want you to take hold of that just the same way that you see that Curtis has taken control of that for sale by owner market in his area, okay? Because it can be very easily overwhelming. You say, well, all these marketing opportunities, what do I do? One, okay? So there are various things that we talked about that are non-negotiable, like reaching out to your sphere of influence and handing out your business cards. Those are a given on a daily basis, prospecting. But in terms of investing your time and your energy and your dollars into your marketing opportunities, we want you to choose one. And with your morning cup of coffee, we want you to review that and continue to follow up with that business for a specific marketing effort. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. All right, so today we are talking about for sale by owners today. All right, did you guys get the message that I sent out with the language for sale by owners last week?
Yes.
Excellent. So you want to digest that language because that's how you're going to need to be able to respond. And those talking points in there, you're going to need to be comfortable with sharing that information with sellers. Okay. So that being said, these are numbers per NAR. Per NAR, about 95% for sale by owners will eventually list with an agent. And that is so important because you can say, oh, well, for sale by owners, they're very difficult to deal with. They don't want to deal with an agent. And that may be the case in the beginning. However, in the end, over 90% of them will end up listing with an agent. So if that's the case, just like you see Curtis doing with all of the short sales or potential short sales, you want to be that agent who is diligent, who provides resources and follows up with these for sale by owners. So when they get to the end of their ropes and that 90+% say, you know what, let me go ahead and turn this over to an agent, then they will actually reach out to Darlene. They'll reach out to Talit. They'll reach out to, everybody who is, well, anyone who is consistent in reaching out to them and providing resources, okay? So we have a testimony to tell you guys. One of your clients, I'm sure you guys would have saw the email from last weekend too, where I told Susan to reach out to you guys and see which of her Realty Pro colleagues wanted to come to an open house to help host the open house with her, right? Did you guys see that message in WhatsApp?
Yes.
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 So the open house was for a $1.7 million open house. If you didn't know, then that's what it was for. The open house was for a $1.7 million house. Now, Susan got that listing from doing exactly what we're about to go through today. She simply marketed to for sale by owners, okay? And she has started to do cold calls in the morning, which some people can be afraid of doing them. If that is what you choose to do, simply be consistent and it will absolutely work. You just gotta be consistent over time and you will see a result. So for Susan, I want to say hers was within a matter of 2 weeks or so. She got 3 or 4 listing appointments and 1 listing on the market and a couple other ones that are coming up also. So to that end, I want you guys to be encouraged. The listing that she invited you guys out to for that open house, that $1.7 million listing, again, I'm going to say it again, came from marketing to for sale by owners. So although they are a different breed, although they may think, well, I don't need an agent. I don't want you to call me. I'm listing my home myself. I don't need a realtor. Yeah, you keep persisting. You keep being a resource. You keep adding value, and eventually over 90% of them will come around. Okay. All right. So let's talk about these for sale by owners and where to find them. What are your guys' thoughts right offhand about for sale by owners? Yeah.
You can go to military by owner.
Oh, that's awesome. So the military website, maybe that's something that you can share with us at another point. That would be great. That would be a great resource. What are your guys' thoughts? And I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me go back.
I think we can look at Zillow. Doesn't Zillow have the option where you can search specifically for sale by owners?
So glad you asked that question because that's exactly what we're about to do. Not sure if you guys can see the top of my screen here, but I have that open purposefully for you because there are multiple websites just at, the stroke of the keyboard. You can find these for sale by owners. So Zillow, yes, is one of them. We're going to start with this one today. This is Home Lister. Home Lister, you pull up properties in Maryland, you see homes for sale, and you simply clicked on the option for sale by owner. This property here, see all the information about the property. For sale by owner, you get to contact the seller, okay? So these, you want to put your information in. And in addition to putting your information in so that you can reach out directly to the seller, this, you already have the property address. So even if the seller's telephone number, email address, if it's there or if it's not there, the mere fact that you have the property address, you know the home to market to. So with your mailers, with your postcards, with your door hangers, with your doorknobs, you are going to specify the properties based on those that are for sale by owner and actually begin to market to them. Okay, now I'm trying to move, my apologies. Trying to move these to the side. Here we go. All right. So home lister, then we have Zillow. So Zillow right here. I'm going to exit out of this so we can go back and you can see exactly how to find that. And I'm moving around. Let's see, moving around the pictures and it's causing us to go from page to page. So bear with me, because on Zillow, you see right here. Scroll on down and we're going to find those for sale by owners. Okay. So for sale, yes, Washington, D.C. And I had already chosen for sale by owners. So if I started over, if I clicked on buy, and I clicked on for sale by owner, you guys see that right there? And it comes up with Washington, D.C. I can choose current location, or I can put in and you can use my location for now. Okay. Let's do Upper Marlboro. Okay. And we're going to go there. Refresh them because there are. Let's try another place. Let's see. Or maybe let's do Washington, D.C. Does anybody have a preference?
Nope.
Okay. So we have, I did Washington, D.C. And for Washington, D.C., we have 32 listings right there. All right. These are for sale by owners. So some of them are coming soon. Some of them are already on the market. So let's take one of these and let's go ahead on the 700K. Right, for sale by owner. What information am I able to find? Notice that at the very beginning, you're going to see the blue hyperlink to contact the agent. That's not what you're interested in. All right, you're going to scroll down. Why? Because you see the property owner's telephone number right there. All right, you're a realtor. Even if the name wasn't listed, which it will be, you can find their name, you can find all of that information, but now you have a direct phone number that you can reach out to them on. Okay. So all that information that you need, you have the property address, the owner, their number. This is how you're going to cold call your for sale by owners. All right, let's try another one.
Hey, real quick question, Jazz.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Will that work for just say potential short sales as well on Zillow?
So I have not explored potential short sales on Zillow because our resource is superior. So Realty Track, what we have with the notices of default, our information is going to be top of the line from that regard. Now, that being said, these homeowners, they're not listed with a brokerage. So there are various websites that we have as resources to get that information from. So I don't know if Zillow provides as high quality information as Realty Track would. Ours is our resource better from that regard.
Okay.
They may have it, but it's not going to be the same as what we have.
Okay. Thank you.
You got
another question. So if can you market in DC if you have a Maryland license?
No, you got to mark. Well, here's the thing. You can market, but you would have to refer it. Okay. So if you wanted to just market abroad, you could market, but whoever has the DC license would have to be the agent. So it's better for you to market in the jurisdictions that you're licensed in.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So that being said, I'm gonna scroll on down. contact the seller. If I want to contact the seller, let's see. Click on that. If I want to send the seller a message, request a showing, make an offer. Here's the seller's name right there. Okay, this is going to allow me to send a direct email to the seller. All right, the seller is going to call me back or email me back, and I have established a line of communication. This is how I'm going to be able to market to that seller. Okay. I'm going through various websites on purpose. That way you can see that there are multiple ways to find this information, so that when you get up in the morning and you have your morning cup of coffee at 9 a.m. for those of us that are full-time versus those of us that are dual career. If you're dual career, that may be at 6 p.m. or whatever the time is that works well for you. We talked about time blocking so that you can prospect for business. So whatever that window of time is, this is what you should be doing in that time. You should be prospecting for new business. So whether it's or you're for sale by owners or your short sales, you should be scrubbing these leads and making these contacts, making that call, leaving the voicemail, sending the email, putting together your mailers and your postcards. That's what should be done with that morning cup of coffee for all of our full-time agents. So I want to make sure that you guys have multiple resources to locate that information. Okay. And that is on forsalebyowner.com. There are more though. So let's click this one and see what we have to offer here. So here's one, and this is Houseo.com. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm going to go with Houseo. All right. So Houseo.com, this property, this is a for sale by owner. Okay. I can scroll on down and see the seller's information right here. You guys see that on the right-hand side of the screen? I can message the seller, I can call the seller, I can email the seller. And as you see, the various sites offer various levels of information, but you're going to get direct contact with the seller from these sites. Okay. And this is simply searching for sale by owner, and you put in whatever your state or your city, and it'll pull up properties near you. Okay. And you have this address as well. Reach out to them via mailer, postcard, door hanger, door knock, telephone call, email, but whatever you do, you want to make sure that you're following up and being diligent. All right. So here's another one here. So this is for all, this is pretty much all of Maryland. So if I wanted to click on any of those, all of these are for sale by owners who listed on this particular website. All right. So let's see if we want to click on another one. Let's see. This one's in California, Maryland. That's a lot for sale. Let's try, choose one. Get this one here. Here's another one. All right, Tobacco Road in Chesapeake Beach, if that's an area that you're interested in. Otherwise, you can scale it down to the area that you're interested in. So your farm area. Seller's information here, name, telephone number, email address. You already have the property address. So this is over a morning cup of coffee and a cold call to these sellers. You guys have language. I've sent that information out to you on WhatsApp. That information is available to you in multiple resources, also in your BrokerMint library. In your BrokerMint library, there are masses of scripts. So lead generating, there are some of those guides in there that are from 5 to 30 pages a piece. And various of them are going to cover quite a number of, dialogue scripts and the like for your for sale by owner conversations. All right, here's another one. So then here's Trulia. Clinton, Maryland, for sale by owner. I click on this one. See what information Trulia is going to provide for me. All right, so I can reach out. I can request information. See what else it provides for me. Do you guys have any questions about any of this information that you're seeing?
No.
All right. Did you guys realize that it was so easy to find these for sale by owner leads?
No.
No.
So what are your thoughts about all of these options, these various websites to find for sale by owner leads? We've looked at 5 so far today. So we started with Home Lister, then we went to Zillow, then we went to forsalebywowner.com, then we went to Houseo, and finally we're on Trulia.com. What are your guys' thoughts?
Ms. Porter, I just have a question.
Sure.
So when you're doing this, is the game plan, since they sell by owner, a lot of times couple of people I've spoken with who've done that is because they thought that they were going to save money without paying real estate commissions or what have you. So in your game plan for this, are you saying this towards the fact of, okay, I have a buyer that may be interested and I can bring a buyer to the table? Or are you talking to them and wanting to share with them the benefits of why they should consider having an agent representing them instead of doing it themselves? Or are you doing both?
So that's a great question, right? And surely whatever information you provide to them, you want it to be the accurate information. So if you have a buyer, then you tell them you have a buyer. If you don't have a buyer, that wouldn't be the way you lead your conversation. Nevertheless, your goal is to be a resource to them. So you're reaching out to them, you say, good afternoon, Mr. McPayton. I see that you have your beautiful home listed here as for sale by owner. Just wanted to reach out to you and first introduce myself. I'm Kermon McPayton with Porterhouse International Realty Group. And I wanted to just partner with you to be a valued resource. There's information that I'd be happy to share with you on the market, some tips for preparing your home for selling. There are quite a number of things that you can do to ensure that you get the best value for the home. So you're creating an ally, right? You can give them some information without feeling threatened in your position as an agent, because as you see with NAR's numbers, over 90% of them will end up turning to an agent. So don't ever feel threatened for helping a for sale by owner or providing them with useful information, because if you provide them with useful information and you're a resource and they come to know, like, and trust you, then who do you think they're going to call once they've tried to sell their home for the last 60 to 90 days and they're getting these lowball offers, or it's staying on the market, or if they're getting creeps who are reaching out to them? Who do you think that they'll call?
Sure.
Yeah. So you want to have a very personable conversation, but you're a professional. So you want to provide professional level and professional quality information to them that will be an assistance to them. So let me go back to our slides for today, because there are some things in here that we are going to provide to them, and you just want to be a resource. And this one just basically says to do that. You may go and you may ask if you can come by and tour their home, and you definitely want to do that because you want to go and meet them face to face. You want to schedule a tour for their home, and you want to give them some potential feedback. If there's some information that you can give them, as you can see over there, 13 things to do, not to do when you're trying to sell your home, or whatever the case is, you can provide them with information. Now, in the office, we actually have seller's guides in the office. So we have Porterhouse seller's guides. There is a tremendous amount of information that's in there that you guys can use as a resource. So if you are meeting with those for sale by owners and you say, okay, I want to give them something, we have that in an electronic version and we have it in a printed version. But whatever it is that you hand to them, whether it be whatever, just be a value added to them, be a resource, you be transparent, you be honest. They know that you're a realtor. They know that you're looking to list the property. So that's not a secret. You're not going there saying, hey, I don't want to list the property. I just want to help you sell it. That's not what's happening. You want to list the property. Should they ever need or decide to use a realtor, you want to be the realtor that they use. And why? Why would they use you? Because in that process, you are going to earn the business. You are going to earn their trust, and you are going to earn their confidence in you by serving them or servicing them, with a high quality professional, agenda while they are selling their homes on their own. Okay. So you could even bring by, maybe a little, you could go to maybe a Lowe's or Home Depot or something like that and bring them a little for sale by owner sign. You know what I mean? You might bring them some little shoe covers. You might bring them something as a sign of good faith to say, hey, you know, I see what you're trying to do and I understand. If you ever need assistance, I'm here. Here's some information. Here's some tools.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts?
So would you say, I'm sure this is a realistic question, but like in looking at, so when you're out there and you see the for sale by owners, probably call the ones whose house has been out for maybe like more than what, 20 days?
No, call all of them. I wouldn't.
I mean, just like
those.
them being like the first ones that you contact, the ones that whose house has been out there the longest.
Can I put a pin in something here? I happened to be driving a neighborhood about 4 weeks ago, and I saw a FSBO sign, and I called on it right then and there when I saw it. And when I contacted the owner, who happened to be a personal representative for probate, they told me that I had called 20 minutes after they put the sign out. So you don't have to wait. And I have that property under contract right now. So you don't have to wait. If they need the help, they're going to accept it. And if they want to, with this particular FSBO, they wanted a quick sale. So everything has gone through quite quickly. I called the sign on April 30th. On May 28th, it was under contract, and we should close on June 28th.
Excellent. That is an awesome testimonial, guys. That is an excellent question, Darlene, and great feedback, Dee. So that being said, as I promised at the beginning, it's going to take us a few weeks to get through proper training for My House Porter. But you guys have a tremendous tool at your disposal, which we will begin to roll out of very soon. My House Porter, it is a platform for only Porterhouse agents that allows for us as a brokerage to list and sell properties for sellers with zero commission.
Wow.
Okay, so this is a tremendous marketing opportunity for sale by owners. One of the #1 reasons that they list their property as for sale by owner in the first place is because they want to save on commission. They don't want to pay 6 commission, you know, in order to sell their homes. And with this platform that we've developed for you guys, they will be able to do just that. Okay, so in the weeks to come, we're going to roll out all of the details, but you guys can begin sharing that information with sellers and letting them know, hey, if you want to go ahead and start reaching out to them, if this is the type of marketing that you're willing to commit to, then let that be a part of your value proposition. We can sell your home for you with zero commission, and there are several other perks that you guys are going to be very excited to be able to offer. But this is going to put you guys well ahead of the competition, because you'll be able to do something that we don't even know another brand that's able to do at this point. So we definitely want to roll that out, and I won't get into all the details because I want to be able to properly train you guys on that. But just know that is something that is already at your disposal. It is ready, and we're simply working on the rollout.
So my question, of course, would be then how do we get paid?
That's a great question. So you get paid, so you just don't get paid a commission, right? So what is included, hold on one second, Mr. Porter, I know you are in the middle of a couple of different meetings. So if you have anything that you want to share right now, then go ahead and unmute yourself. If not, I will continue. But
no, I didn't really have anything. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
I didn't have anything per se. I just wanted to say, guys, listen, once we roll it out, all of the details about how you get paid through this process will be afforded to you. But it's really exciting. It's a really great marketing tool for you. We know that it's effective. There's a way that you need to even list the property and pricing structures and things of that nature to get the maximum volume. Jasmyen's going to tell you some other features, such as you don't even have to use a lockbox. So it's just a dynamic way of marketing a property And then the open house is a tool for you in such a unique way. So I just want Jasmine to go through that. But just don't worry about, you're going to get paid. We'll talk about that, I think, in the future. But I just want Jasmine to go through some of the features.
Absolutely. So you guys are going to get paid. You're the same amount, no worries. But in terms of some of the features that this platform is going to afford all of our clients is, like Mr. Porter said, in addition to selling for 0% commission, they don't even have to have their property on the market, you know, with agents coming in and out every day around the clock, if you will. It's going to be one day of showing. They don't even have to do a lockbox on the door should they choose not to. Okay. It's going to be one day of showing, and it's going to be one open house. All right. So there are quite a number of things that we have to do in order to prepare for that. And that's the piece that you guys are going to need to be trained on. But it opens up a world of opportunity. It opens up a world of opportunity. And I'll say it again for you guys, because you're going to be able to dominate in this area, especially as it pertains to any seller that would be your for sale by owner listing and the like. Okay. So if you're interested in for sale by owners, you will have an advantage. Is there anything else that you want me to share before the actual rollout, Mr. Porter?
No, I think you should go through the presentation.
Okay, you got it. All right. So today we won't go through the presentation today, but next Thursday we will go through the presentation for My House Porter. All right. So you guys stay tuned, because that is some great information. Now, just so that you know, it's a tremendous opportunity in this for sale by owner area. However, that tool can be utilized for any and all listings. So it is not specific to for sale by owners, although this is something that on your value proposition, it alleviates their number one pushback, right? So this is something that will help you to overcome that and list probably 90% of the for sale by owners that you contact. So to that end, for any listing, if that helps you to negotiate that listing agreement, you want to make sure that sellers know, hey, you know, we can list your property for you, 0 commission, so forth and so on. And as of next week, we're going to begin training on that. So you guys will have all of the language, and you'll know all of the opportunities that'll be afforded to your sellers. All right. So in the meantime, in conclusion, all of the websites that we've gone through, in order for you guys to see where to locate these for sale by owners, we want for you guys to be diligent. There's something that is extremely important. We've talked about following up with people at a minimum of 7 times. That's 7 times before they come to know, like, and trust you. Okay. That being said, the conversion normally happens between 8 to 12 times. So now that you followed up with them up to 7 times, now they know you. They're like, okay, D, I know who you are. Curtis, I know who you are. Now let's work on the follow through. The follow through is when you actually convert them from a lead into a client. So be courageous. If you follow up with somebody 12 times, if you get a commission, say by chance the property's, you know, $700,000, your commission is over $21,000. You think it's worth you being diligent to follow up as many times as necessary in order to convert them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Definitely.
So say by chance the property is worth $300,000 and your commission's over $900,000. Is it then worth it to follow up with them as many times as necessary to convert them?
Sure.
Okay. So if that person, if you have to reach out to them every week and you know you're chasing them at that point, is it worth doing that in order for you to close that transaction, in order for you to convert them from a lead into a client and then a closed transaction? Is that follow through worth it to you?
Yes.
As Mr. Porter always says, you keep following up until they tell you they're through with you.
Said it, and I'm going to ask you to say that again.
You follow up until you find out that they've already sold their home, they have an agent, or they're like, look, don't call me anymore.
Excellent. And I will second that. And I'm so glad you said it. We have to do the follow-up work, guys. We are in the sales business. We literally help to change people's lives. but the selling piece that you sell them on you. So you sell them on you as an agent, as a professional, as someone that's diligent, as someone that's competent. So you are selling yourself in this regard, and you got to do it until they are convinced. And once they purchase the product, which is you, now you can help them with everything else that they need. All right, guys. All right.
All right.
Really quickly, I'll recap just the websites that we've gone over today. Home Lister. So that's homelister.com. Of course, Zillow.com. ForSaleByOwner.com. Houseo.com. And then Trulia.com. All right. So again, over your morning cup of coffee, you should be making calls to these for sale by owners. There's absolutely no reason, no excuse. You do not have to go to some other place and pay for these leads. They are available to you by the masses. There are so many websites where you guys can get this information from. It is right at your fingertips. So I wanted you to have multiple resources there so we have no excuses. All right. You guys have any questions or comments in closing? We're going to go ahead and begin to wrap it up for today.
So, Jasmine, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, listen up, guys. I really want as many people as possible to be available next Thursday when Jasmine rolls out the presentation for My House Porter. This is an opportunity for us to grow and expand in some unique ways. And it really starts, the whole idea is for you to be able to maximize the way that we're going to be listing this property, not only to sell the house, but you're going to be able to use it to also get buyer leads, to build a team, if you will, to recruit agents. Because what happens is if you list the properties the correct way, the way we're going to talk about, right? You have this tool that is a very transparent way to list a property. Everybody's going to be able to participate who wants to participate. Some people are going to come with an agent, which is great for you. And I'll explain why in a second. And then some people who are going to come to this open house without an agent, which is also great to you and to those who you recruit as your team members. So when you have this tool available to you, you're going to get this listing because, I mean, basically, it's almost a no obligation to the person who you're listing for. If you're telling the person there's no commission, there's really, I'm going to be able to guarantee that I'm going to sell your house for the maximum amount of money that it's worth on this market. I'm going to do it within the next 14 days. I'm going to have your ratified contract. And all you have to do is allow me to do what we need to do. I'm not going to put a lockbox on your house. I'm going to ask you to let me have one day where I invite everybody who's interested to come see the house. And then after that, it's going to be a war. It's going to be a war over who wants their house the most. And we already have that kind of going on in the market organically. But then to put the icing on the cake with this tool that we're going to roll out is going to be very exciting. So the open house for you guys is going to be where you really get to maximize the benefit of this tool. Because just imagine, you haven't had any showings on this house except for this one day. Imagine the crowd that's going to come. Imagine the amount of people that are going to be there. This is a chance for you to take out your phone, to get some content for Instagram and all your marketing, to say, look at the kind of open houses I throw as compared to what your agent might be throwing. If you want to list with me, this is the, you need to call me or you need to get in touch with me. Look at all of these people that are coming to see this house. That's one thing. Then for the agents who bring their clients who've never seen an open house like that before, they're going to want to know, well, what do I need to do to be part of you? What do I need to do to be part of this brokerage? What do I need to do to take advantage of this tool the way you're doing? So that's a recruiting opportunity for you. Okay. And then for the people that show up who do not have a real estate agent representing them, you're going to need to have your team ready to go gather those people so that they can then get pre-approvals so that they can participate if they need to. So it's really an exciting thing. We're very excited about it. We're going to we want to make sure we put all the bells and whistles before we roll it out to you. But in the end, we think you guys is going to transform, not only your business, going to transform Porterhouse and the way we're able to do business. And that's all I wanted to say.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Porter. We appreciate it. All right, guys, you are amazing. Thank you for carving out time in the middle of your day to get this information. Take this information, utilize it. If you have any questions or you need anything, give us a call. We will see you next Thursday, same time, same place. Have a great rest of the day.
Have a great day, guys.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Have a great day.